Welcome to the technical session 5, Navigating the Future Work, Essential Employment Skills for the Human Capital Towards 2047. Now I would like to invite Chairperson of this session, Dr. K. Abraham Lincoln Sir, Department of Ambedkar Chair. Welcome you sir. Sir, please welcome you sir. I would like to invite Dr. LBS Murthy Garu, Senior Manager HR, Armored Vehicles, Nigam Limited, Chennai. Welcome you, sir. Now I would like to invite Prem Sandri Garu, CEO and co-founder of Campus Plus 360.com, London, UK. Sir. Welcome you, sir. I hand over this session to Chairperson of this session. Dr. Amma Sachinaran Garu, Faculty MBA HRM, ANU. Sir will join me soon. Co-chairperson of the session will be joined.
Good afternoon, London. In the session 5, Navigating the Future of Work, Essential Employment Skills for Human Capital Towards 2047. First of all, I would like to thanks to our beloved the seminar director, Dr. Nagaraj Garu, Professor Nagaraj Garu, Professor Tulsidas Garu. And at the same time, I would like to thanks to Department Faculty Madhubab Garu, Nirmala Garu, Venu Garu, Satya Garu, and all other participants, professors, associate professors, assistant professors, guests, resource persons, scholars, and all. Once again, good afternoon. In this session, the employment skills. Employment skills is very essential nowadays. What is the importance of HR, human resource? The once upon a time, what you call worker management, labor management, personal management, HR management. Now we are going to call HRD. The human resources management, it is a very key role, an important role, the essential resource of entire the product. So, the last session what I observed something, the importance of labor force, importance of human resources. One of our scholar, one of our excellent professor expressed the ideology. Human resources means an expert in the field of particular area, particularly professionalism. The professionalism means nothing but the experts in particular fields, like whatever it may be. Expertism is the most important. Expertism means nothing but the skill. In this concept, in this session, the expertise is very essential. That's why it's need to employment skill. So it is the one brief idea regarding that employment skill for human capital towards 2047. So in this time, this session, I would like to invite Dr. LVSN Murthy Garu, Senior Manager HR, Amused Vehicles, Nigam Limited, Avadi, Chennai. So, sir, please, welcome to you, sir. Please give some idea regarding that issue. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Dr. L.V.S. Murthy, I am Senior Manager. Earlier, I am Senior Manager in Bharat Dynamics Limited. After my retirement, again I got an opportunity to work in defense companies. Earlier it is Ordnance Factories Board, and now the government has done it as a 7 DPSU. So they have given me an opportunity to apply for the post for 5 years and the same cadre. Like that, I selected through the process of recruitment. Now I am working since August 2022 onwards. I am continuing in this company for writing the various policies and CSR activities of the company, because AVNL has become the company, so that CSR is a mandatory requirement, so that they have given me, because I also have the MSW, so that they engaged me for policies and policy formulation with reference to the DPE guidelines for a public sector and the CSR activities of the company for the benefit of the society in and around the units of AVNL. First of all, I must say thanks to the Department of HRM. For every year they will conduct the seminars, and every year after my empanelment as a research scholar, every year they used to call me and I used to attend. This year, every year, Professor Nagaraju Garu will always invite me, either as a presenter or as a co-chairman or as a, like that. I also thank Nagaraju Garu and the Professor Tulsidas Garu, Shundi Prasad Garu, and other Nirmala Madam, and other faculty members of HRM department and the alumni of HRM department, because whenever SAR conducts the seminar, everybody will attend. That is the greatness that this department is having. And moreover, the students also participate in a grand way. It is very, very difficult for me to conduct this session, because after lunchtime, even myself also get sleep. But making the students or the other personals to be alive, it is a little bit hectic task for me. Okay, anyhow, I will try my level best to give me some knowledge what I have on the subject. So, navigating the future of work, essential employment skills for human capital towards 2047 is the topic. Now this session chaired by Dr. Abraham Lincoln Garu, the professor, and Dr. Prem sir is the CEO and founder of Campus 360degrees.com. Is an eminent personality in talking about the various digital platforms. So I will try to restrict myself to the public sector undertaking on essential skills and the other sectors that what we are proposed to be discussed about it. So we are all know that now India has got an independence on 2047. The topic, why we have selected 1947, we have achieved the Independence Day, so that 2047 is completing centenary. So that is the reason everybody, the government of India or the Andhra Pradesh, they are now concentrating toward the 2047. So now country is the doorsteps, is a crossroads for transforming global workforce landscape. So it aims to lead the largest supplier of skilled manpower. Why we are largest manpower? Because India is having an asset of growing population. We are not having now around 1.4 billion population is there. So growing population is an asset. So we feel that we are the largest supplier for the global area, provided if we match the skills required for the global landscape. So Vikasit Bharat, Indian vision to transform country into a developed nation by 2047. Economic growth, social progress, environmental sustainability, and good governance, with a focus on sustainable development of the country. That is the main motto of Vikasit Bharat. This is a flagship program of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and all this Vikasit Bharat, every organization in manufacturing sector or listed companies or government public sectors, they are concentrating on Viksit Bharat on various aspects. The potential of Indian workforce is undeniable, but the current reality exposes a significant mismatch between the current skill set and the required skill set to reach our destination to 2047. Because the job market is evolving like anything. And it is breathtaking pace which the development is going on. Skills development, education system often struggle. Skills development and the education system is always struggle to match between the existing skill and the required skills. India young force can either transform into a national superpower. It is the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Suppose if they are equipped with the required skills as desired by the global workforce, global requirement, then we will become the superpower because we are the largest supplier of manpower. Suppose if we are not matched to that level, it may be down. The interconnectedness of the global economy driven by technology has redefined the nature of work. So because of various technological advancement, the nature of work also itself has changed. The rapid progress of growth of AI and automation has reimagined the job roles, eliminating some and creating some more jobs. So for instance, rise of ChatGPT. Suppose if you are other AI tools, it has made very easy for content writing or designing of web and all. But it is not eliminated, but it made it easy for the users. So significantly altering the landscape of the traditional jobs. It is also important to note that technology impact on job is multifaceted. Certain roles are being automated, new opportunities are also simultaneously being created. The rise of gig economy, during the global pandemic, gig economy has risen like anything. It attracted a lot of technology, enabled with skilled talents, and at the same time, it increased the demands for unskilled labor as well as skilled labor. However, it is essential to ensure that the rights and welfare of a gig workers are protected through appropriate policies and regulations. So, gig economy, what is gig economy? Free market and temporary positions are created. Engage them in independent contractor, independent consultant, or short-term requirements. Suppose project-based requirement if it is there, because gig economy earlier only continuous job is required, perennial jobs. Now the trend has changed after this pandemic, and because of a lot of technology improvement, technological advancement, only short-term requirement and all. So overheads are getting down. The demands for unskilled labor as well. However, it is essential and the rights and welfare of gig workers are protected through appropriate policies and regulations. This is also an example to confirm that relevant skills are not just important for beneficial future of the work, but also instill the power to negotiate better wages and working conditions in the employees for the gig economy. So policy evolution for prosperous future, because we are moving towards the 2047, the policies has to be changed in accordance with the requirements. Suppose the existing policies may not suit to the requirements. Suppose gig economy short term now. Earlier all rules there is once a job is joined, he has to continue for 62 years unless and until he is terminated. Now such demands are not available now. After gig economy as risen fixed term contracts. For a particular period, the contract is given to some other, they will recruit the people, after that they have to be sent out after completion of their project. So tenure based employment is also there. So they Flipkart employee. Even now we are doing for this, AVNL is doing tenure based employment, 4 years tenure, fixed term employment, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, based on the company's requirement. So for that now, some people may work for this also. Now we have developed one policy called consultant for a particular period for they can attend the company only for 8 days in a month. The remaining, he can be worked from the VC, video conferences. Whatever the sessions they want now, they can be attended through video conference. This is the technological advancements. So everybody will prefer scientists, lot of scientists retired, their knowledge is required for the manufacturing base. So for such people, we have developed one policy like that, hybrid model, giving basic plus DA, cost based tron plus DA, IDA, industrial DA, some percentage of perks and all we are giving, not less than 2 lakhs. So like that now, the companies are also looking towards the changes in their policies. So policy formulation is very, very important to match to the needs towards the goal of 2047. So towards reaching the 2047, there are 3 important fields what I feel that it is important. One is education, the second one is healthcare. Why healthcare? And skill development. Why healthcare? Because people are aged and a lot of problems there, and health is the crux for any employee. If you are healthy only, you will get a productive work. Otherwise, you cannot go. So health is very, very important. Besides education as well as skills development, because we are falling short of skills to meet the demands of the global workforce. So that is the reason to address this. Education is a must, and the National Educational Policy 2020 has changed the model of educational system. During this educational system, only 50% of the students are enrolled. 50% only out of 100, only 50% are enrolled through formal education. The remaining percentage of is not working. So for that purpose, government has designed one department called National Skill Development Corporation, where it has established levels. Some those who are not acquired the formal education through colleges or institutions, they will be given opportunity to attend for that courses and qualify for that. For that, national skill frameworks they have developed. Level 1, ITI, diploma, whatever it may be. So if you go through that, we are having a mechanical engineers plenty, but we are not having mechanics. We are having electrical engineers, but we are not getting electrician. Suppose if you have any electrical problem, the getting of electrician is very, very difficult. Suppose if you have a fashion designer, but we are not getting tailors. Am I right or not?
Yes.
So skill set is very, very important, because we are growing the population in India. So we have to match to the demands. Even we are not matching our demand, because suppose tailors, suppose in the OCF, ordnance factories and clothing factories there, they are all tailors. Now it was private, it was made it as a public sector. So we have to compete with the other industries, even for tailors. So no tailor is available. They left their profession. Like that now, tailors are also needed instead of fashion designer. So in order to address this 50% mismatch, so this the NSPF has given levels, 10 levels, equivalent to 10th level is equivalent to the PhD. So they have made some courses, trainings. They are giving training. They are attending the that courses, examinations, and they are qualifying through that levels. Once they qualified that level, that is UGC has given a direction to public sector to equate ITI and level 2. Suppose a level 2 person has applied for that post, he has to be given preference. Like that, the rules are amended recently. So anybody can, those who are not having the educational system through formal mode, they can go through this indirect method. So to get that skill set improvement, the government has done this type of courses, has brought into the country. And the DGT, Directorate General of Training, they are conducting a number of courses in all facets, tailoring, embroidery, everything. There are a lot of schemes are there. So with this now, the people who are enrolled for such courses, they are getting skills and they are getting the employment opportunities. So In addition to that, India has several skill development schemes, including flagship Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, Jana Shikshan Samsthanam, and the National Apprentice Promotion Schemes, and also Prime Minister Internship recently given as a theme for DPA, all public sectors, to enroll. Initially, the first year they have given for law top 500 listed companies, they have to mandatorily undertake PM internship scheme, because 6 months they have to give a training to get the industry interface, skill and industry interface. For that, now the people will be definitely get acquainted with the skills. So the future of work is rapidly evolving due to technological advancement, globalization, and shifting economic and social landscape. Here, some of the essential requirements, employment skill, because the subject itself is the employment skills towards the future of the roadmap of 2047. So in the technological advancement, in my view, few I have jotted down what are the skills that are required and all. No, just before you, I am going to tell. Digital and technological literacy is very important. Understanding and working alongside AI, robotics, automation tools, data literacy, cyber security awareness, adaptability to emerging trends, technology, cognitive and analytic skills, emotional and social intelligence, creativity and innovation, leadership and people management. It is very essential. Leadership and people's management. Lifelong learning and adaptability. Lifelong learning. Lifelong. You have to learn continuously. Otherwise, when the technology is changing, and you should be equipped with the current trends. Suppose my son or my daughter, they are more computer savvy than me. So I cannot use so many applications just because the generational gap. What I feel. Maybe you people are young and you are adapted to that digital platforms and all. To some extent, I am able to do that. So this is due to generational gaps. So when we are moving towards that 2047, there will be another generation called G generation. So they will be more aspiring towards the digital platforms and all. They are more competitive with the existing generation. So these are all the requirements. Ethical and global awareness, it is required. Ethical decision making, navigating moral dilemmas in a tech-driven, cultural intelligence, sustainability and social responsibility. These are the techniques that are required for employment skills that are required for people towards 2047. So we need to embrace continuous learning, adaptability and interdisciplinary collaborations. The most successful individual will be those who integrate technology with human-centric skills. So human-centric skills is always required. Without human-centric approach, even if the technology improves, we cannot do anything. While maintaining ethical and social organizations, government and educational must work together to prepare human capital for this transformation future. So this is the all these stakeholders should work together to frame rules, to get trains, giving a training, e-learning trainings, and all these things. There are many organizations they are going and giving to their various people. Now, healthcare is very important. Healthcare is the very important, just because improved quality of healthcare will result into better productivity days. Healthcare industry is rapidly evolving due to advancement in technology and aging population and emerging global health challenges. So the skills required are digital and technology proficiency in the medical field, AI and data analytics, medical devices and robotics knowledge, clinical and critical thinking skills. Clinical things, I think some of the people are hospital administration, they know better than me. What earlier in the last presentation, in the last session, that hospital administration under the guidance of Dr. Chundu Garu has presented a paper in a very dynamic way. So they also brought so many things. Adaptability and continuous learning, that is very important for hospital administration. Communication and patient-centric care, it is very important. Leadership and teamwork, everywhere, any role, it requires leadership skills. Cultural competence in care. Suppose if you are treating with some other area people, you have to have some cultural this thing and all. Healthcare management and coordination. Suppose now we're coming into the gig economy because global pandemic has made us to go through the gig economy. Key features of gig economy: flexible work arrangements. We got flexible work arrangements. Technology-driven platforms. For all medical, you have various technological platforms like project-based and task-oriented work. Now, what are the challenges? Lack of job security. Suppose if you are temporary jobs, there is no job security. There is no health insurance for you. Legal and licensing issues will be there whether you have to do it or not. For example, doctors. Gig jobs, telemedicine and virtual healthcare. It's a booming subject now. Telemedicine. I think hospital administration people better know. Travel nursing and paradigm nursing. Short-term assignments in hospital, clinics and home healthcare. Platform for nomad health, Aya healthcare, nurse supply. Freelance medical writing and counseling. Temporary physician work. Temporary physician work is also is a short-term work arrangements. Home healthcare and caregiving. Suppose older people, people are engaging because of their various assignments. They are not taking care of their parents, so that caregiving. We are engaging some people, nurses or like that. Even we have engaged for our father-in-law like that. Allied health professionals and therapists. Future in gig work is that increased demand for telehealth and remote care, greater reliance on AI and digital platforms, more healthcare staffing platforms connecting with workers to gigs. Examples of gig economy: ride share and delivery, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, freelancing and digital service, online teaching, tutoring, home services, handyman work, healthcare and telemedicine. So for doing this gig work, self-discipline and time management very essential. Digital literacy and marketing, financial and business management, customer service and communication, building strong client relationship, adaptability and resilience. So what are the challenges in the gig economy towards 2047 is income instability. Suppose if you are working for a gig economy in the gig jobs now, income instability will be there. Lack of benefits. Whatever the regular employees will have the benefits, we will not be given. Just they will give the amount and whatever project-based amount, the income they will fix, and they will give only other benefits they will not provide. So job insecurity, so that because after some time they have to leave that job, some other person will come for some other job. So job insecurity is there. Legal and tax responsibilities also there. So whatever earning you are doing getting that should be taxable, and all these things are there. With this, I am concluding. My co-resource person, Dr. Prem sir, is campus360.com, is the CEO and co-founder. CEO and founder. He has developed so many educational LMS models for students, teachers, parents. He has made LMS models. So with that now, with his experience in the education on the digital platforms, he will explain more liberally, and he will interact with all of you. You can interact with him. You can learn more from him. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity for say something about this subject. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. L.V.S. Senmurthy garu. You have given a wonderful message on that area, particularly global economy, economical growth and social condition based on the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ideology Vikasit Bharat. And at the same time, one more highlight on the concept of the global economy. We need to change the nature of working conditions, work, technology impact, the tenure-based employment, and online verification and inspections, everything. Whatever the present situation, we are observing the different types of the education skills and schemes, getting the employment opportunities. And at the same time, the government was established the previously DDU-GKY, Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kaushik Yojana, and PMKVY, Pradhana Mantri Kaushik Yojana. The both are the acting as skill development centers, skill development. So whereas the theoretical knowledge and as well as technical knowledge, it is very essential in the present situation. That's why everybody they are concentrated to different types of the modes of change of education system. It is very essential. So it is a good concept, and thank you very much, sir, for your version. And now I would like to invite Dr. Prem Sandri, CEO and CEO founder of Campus Plus 360.com, London and UK. So once again, I invite Prem sir.
Thank you, Modi and Lincoln and members of the dais and on the dais. I think I've got a very interesting profile here. Either the chairs are too long or the people are too short, because I can only see the hair of most of the people and not their faces. And I'm surprised if you all can see my face also. So what shall we do now? Can I see the faces of everybody? Yeah. అందరు మెల్లకలైతే లేవు కదా అటు సైడ్ చూస్తే నన్ను చూస్తున్నారా లేకుంటే యా దట్స్ బెటర్ to get the best out of this conversation or discussion we have, right? I just give you a minute's profile of where I come from and what I can do, and then you can ask me questions so that you get the best out of me. Well, I lived and worked in India, USA, UK, Europe, Canada, and Australia. I have worked across 10 different industries, about half a dozen different domains, right? Almost all roles in an IT sector except coding, and a couple of roles in management including HR, marketing, sales, organization behavior, organization development, and I think my skill profile will help you a lot, provided you all know what you want and can ask the relevant questions. Okay, so I'm not going to present a PPT or go into the details of it. I will just randomly discuss something which are of very critical importance for you all in terms of your career and your skills. But at the same time, I'll still stick to the topic or subtopic we have here, right? It says navigating the future of work. When you say navigating, which means you're talking about changing something or transforming something. That's one. And then it says essential employment skills. It doesn't say employment skills. It says essential employment skills for human capital 2047. Right? So when we talk about change and transformation, three things must happen for effective change and transformation. Right? They carry the acronym SSC. Have you ever heard of it? Three things. What are they? Try. It doesn't matter, nothing's right or wrong. Three things if you do do change and transformation. First one is stop. Right. Today, what you're doing, there are a couple of things that you're doing which may be negative, right? Which may be blocking you, which may be blocking your career, your growth, anything. It may be an economy, anything, right? You need to stop those things which are blocking or inhibiting growth. Right. I answered the first is. What could be the second is? It should be very simple. This is the first is. Huh? Start. It's the opposite of stop, right? So you need to start. Start what? Start those behaviors that will help you grow. Then what is C? Continue. You're using ChatGPT or something. Excellent. So continue. What are you going to continue?
What you had started.
No. Not just what is. Those that you have started and are good and are promoting growth. Right? So basically 3 types of behaviors, right? Those that are blocking, which you need to stop. Those that will help you, new skills that help you grow, which you need to start. Those you already started, which are good, which you need to continue. Right? And anything, if you can categorize these, whatever you are doing today into these 3 buckets, you know what you need to do. Right? And if you do those things, it will bring about change and transformation. So very simple. Right? Let's come to it. Then let's come to the second point. Right? We were talking about essential skills. So when we are most of the presentation we're listening for the last couple of days, right? And I think everybody seems to saying, hey, 2025, sorry, 45, something is going 47, something is happening, and what are the new skills for them? Which means you are focusing on start. But I'm saying, are all skills only to start? What are the skills that need to be stopped? What are the skills that need to be continued? You needed skills 100 years ago, you need skills today, you need skills in 2047. So what are these skills? So when you say essential skills doesn't necessarily mean new skills. Right? Skills today, skills past. Right? And if you want to change and transformation, you must know where you are today. Right? So on a scale of, I'll go from -10 to +10 instead of going from 0 to +5. We must know where you are. Are you at -10, 0, +10, +5? Then you will know how much work is remaining to do change and transformation. And depending on how fast you do it, you will know whether you will reach a goal or not. And at the moment, I will not really worry about 2047 at the moment. I will come to the end of the session. Because you are going for your jobs, right? At 2047, you're going to I'm more interested in you all getting your jobs at the end of your second year and all, and then we will come to the later stage. Right? Now, so we talked about change and transformation, we talked about essential skills, now we'll go to the skills part. Let's go to goals first. Right? So, I'm sure you will all need to plan and set up goals. And you must have heard of an acronym which goes with setting goals. How do you set goals? Or what should be the criteria for a good goal, let's put it that way. What is the criteria of a good goal? Come on. I asked this question in a polytechnic institution for first year students, and all of them answered it correctly. I remember they just finished their intermediate and joined polytechnics, first year students. You finished your graduation, you're doing MBA, and you're doing a course in management.
Where we want to be.
What is the criteria? I mean, this is, huh? No. As you rightly said, it's called SMART. Heard of a SMART goal? You didn't hear of a SMART goal? Come on. Did you all not hear of a SMART goal? SMART is an acronym. What is it for? Acronym for what? Come on, you can open your ChatGPT. Specific, measurable, accurate, realistic, time bound. A polytechnic students, let me tell you, they gave me the answer. The moment I asked them, they gave me the answer. So you need to define your goals SMART. That's one. When you are defining the goals, see, a lot of people here are given a lot of information. I'm sorry, so they give a lot of information, right? And they gave a lot of dimensions. Right? And most of them focus only on technology. AI, technology, some of them did touch upon non-technology. If you have to think in terms of framework, because our MBA students are going at a strategic level, if you're looking at a framework, there is a model which you use when you're doing strategic analysis. Heard of it? Yes? No? It starts with P, ends with E. I'll give you that information. Which one? Come on. Maybe you're closer.
Like this.
Have you heard of PESTLE? P-E-S-T-L-E?
Pestle analysis.
PESTLE or PESTLE. T is silent, but it's PESTLE.
Like skill plate analysis.
political, economic, social, technological, legal, environmental. When you look at a strategic analysis, you need to consider all these factors. So similarly, when you're talking about employment skills, you need to identify what are all the factors that are driving the new employment skills. Right? And don't just look at the technology factors. So basically, actually, if you look at the paper that we wrote, which I'm not reading you all, right, we have classified the paper, are you listening? Right, into factors that contribute, that lead to new skills, right? And whether these factors have a favorable impact or a disadvantageous impact on the all, and what are the strategies to move forward. Right? So I'm not going into the details because you have it in the box, you'll see it in the abstract, you'll see in the book that comes. Right? But I'm going there. Right? So I've been asking you a number of questions, right? AI is not going to solve this problem, will it? Even for a Chat GPT or Gemini or Copilot or for DeepSeek or including Perplexity, it can only give you information which you ask. If you do not know what information to ask, these tools are useless. That's one question. It will give you information, but remember, none of these are accurate. In fact, if you go to any, they tell you, we cannot be accurate. Right? There will be a disclaimer at the end of everything. And I've tried using them, and I know they can be wrong, factually wrong, analytically wrong. In fact, I've tried wherein I used generic Gen AI tools. I fed the right information, and I said, please create a PPT out of it. Please create a video out of it. I use these things extensively. And I specifically make a mention, please do not change the meaning or the context of the material that I provided, right? It will generate a PPT, it will generate a video, but in the process, despite my instructions, it will make some changes. It will do some abstraction. And the abstraction will be as simple as changing a sentence or changing a word. The moment it changes a word or a sentence, it changes the entire context and the meaning that I want to convey. The words are there, but the meaning, the sentiment is not conveyed. So if you're trying to use AI as a tool, right, you need to have the intelligence to ask the right, it's called prompt. In AI language, we call it as prompt. You need to ask the right prompt. Having given the right prompt, it may give you the right answer, it may not give the right answer, it may give you the complete answer, it may be an incomplete answer. In which case, you must keep on prompting the chat so that you get the correct quality of information. That is a skill. Right? Now, so forget AI for a moment. You all joined MBA program or MBA HRM program. Right? Your teachers have taught you subjects. You have studied books. I hope you have studied textbooks and standard books and not guides, but that's up to you. So I will, as a test, right, I'll ask some very simple questions. The reason why I'm asking these questions is, whether you can answer this question or not, and how well you answer this question will reflect your competencies and skills. Because if I'm asking you questions which are very fundamental, like, smart goals, puzzle, and you don't know it, what does that reflect? It reflects on your skills, your competency, your knowledge, your attitudes, and what you are. With this, where will you go 6 months down the line? You'll forget 2047. And if this process, if this structure is what continues to go on, nothing is going. We'll keep on having seminars after seminars, and 2047 comes and we'll still be where we are. You understand why, right? So I'll ask something. I just use the word skill and competency. Is there a difference between skill and competency, or are both the same? What do you think? And why I'm using skill and competency? Right? I'll ask a simple question. Somebody mentioned about leader and manager. Right? Are you all listening? So, what is the difference between a leader and a manager? Is it just one difference? Or the multiple differences that differentiate? If so, what are they? I'm not answering. Then, there is something you come across the world. At least now, note down these terms that I'm saying. You can later on go home and do your research. At least you'll learn that way. There's something called connotation, there is something called denotation. You know what they are? So when you use a word, There are certain things which are essential and core for it. So when you say leader and a manager, what does it connote? What does it denote? Right, fine. So you're not answering the question, is it? Fine. I'll go to a different question. People have been talking about sector. Right? People mention sector. And I'm seeing one skill, right? You heard of the word industry. Right? You heard of the word sector? You heard of the word industry. You heard the word company. Right? Function. Can you give me an example of a sector, an industry, and a company? Come on, somebody. Fast. At least tell me some sectors. Because we had two different interpretations this morning, if you actually listened. I think it was Mr. Srinivas. When he said sector, there are two types of sector: organized sector, unorganized sector. When Mr. Venugopal spoke, when Mr. Veeraswamy spoke, he said ITC is in three sectors. Which sectors he said ITC is in? Manufacturing, agribusiness, and technology or something like that.
Services. Hospitality. Services.
Hospitality.
Hospitality. Hotels.
Now, two eminent people here gave two different definitions of sector. Who is right?
Perception.
Both are right. Okay. Perception. Fine. We don't know, right? Let's assume at the moment we don't know. Probably one person is right, the other person is probably both are right. How can both people be right? How can both people be right?
Again, perception.
Perception is a psychological term, right? But we are not using perception. What could be the difference? There could be a different parameter, a different dimension from which each person, context, each person is talking in terms of different. Then what you must know, what is the context from which Veeraswamy is right? What is the context from which Mr. Srinivas is right? That's where you come across your denotation, connotation, and other things. Right? I'll keep on telling you for a couple of more. Then I will tell you what is blocking us from giving the right answer or knowing the right answer. I want you to know this so that you will develop these skills with the next 1 week, 2 weeks, or 30 days so that you move towards good employment. You heard of role and position? You're HR people, right? Yeah. So you know that is the difference between a role and a position. Anybody? Simple question, role, position. Come on. Come on, don't tell me.
Position is something.
No, not, I'm asking. I'm asking our expert audience at the back. There is important reason I'm asking you, right? Tomorrow you want to go for an interview. And you don't know these terms. How do you expect to clear an interview? Somehow you clear an interview, you get a job. How do you expect to progress in the job? And if some of you are in your third semester now, and if some of you are BCom students by any chance, or BBA students, for example, I know BBA, BCom, you should have covered all these things in your BBA itself. Why I'm asking these questions is, I have the summary of the paper that we are supposed to present. When I looked at the summary, I found a lot of words thrown in out there, all of the literature. So I had a doubt. Do these people really understand? Because you don't understand the word, you won't understand the sentence. If you don't understand the sentence, you won't understand the word. So let me start with something more basic. Right? So that's why I'm asking some basic question as a reflection. Then I'll ask, okay. We did use the word, this thing like slim organization, trim organization. What is the actual word that we should use? Lean organization. That's good. Somebody says lean, we know lean. But the most important thing is, do you understand what a lean organization means? Does lean organization mean slim or lean organization trim? Fine. So what does so what? What do you understand? I tell you, people say, what is economics? Subject economics depends on only two things, right? Demand and supply. To understand demand and supply is economics. Suppose I bring a parrot here, and the parrot sitting there. I keep on saying economic demand supply, economic demand supply. Right? After half an hour, if I say economics, it will say demand and supply. If I say demand and supply, the parrot will say economics. Does that mean the parrot understands economics? No. So if you all say the future model is a lean organization, fine, you articulated the way the parrot articulates. But do you understand what is a lean organization? And why have we not researched to find out what are the trends in the future? What type of organization? I'm only stopping at the stage of a lean organization. I'll come across different organization structures. And I'll give the answer. A lean organization where the number of hierarchies are less. And if you go to some organization, like especially in the public sector, you will start with the 20, 30 hierarchies or levels. When I say lean organization, which means probably I'll have only 3 levels or 5 levels at the most. Right. Now, if you have the same workforce and you want to make the organization lean, what would you do? Which concept of organization is impacted? Yes? The span of control. When you go flat, you need to have a larger span of control, which will impact your centralization and decentralization. Right? So you're all HR people, right? You must understand organization structures. I'm showing how all these concepts are related to each other. So if you read a guide, you will not understand half of this. You must read a proper standard textbook which will explain all these things are related. Now we are talking lean organization. Lean organization is also historical. If you start from scientific management and all that. Before scientific management brought in assembly line of production specialization. Then we went on into functional or departmental type of departmentation organization. From there we went into quality circles of way of organizing. Japanese brought in. Then we went to business process re-engineered organizations. We all know this, we all say this. From process re-engineered organization, where did we go? Or where have organizations gone? In process re-engineered organization, you're organizing your department, everything around the processes, which is the most efficient process. That's where you come across value analysis engineering, right? You come across DMAC and all, right? Wherein you organize everything on processes. So you heard of big data. When big data came in, you started reorganizing organizations around data. Right? That's when big data came in. So I worked on many projects wherein we started looking at data is the core. Who owns the data? Who consumes the data? Who produces the data? So the organization structured around producers, consumers, and users of data, because they're the most efficient way of organizing the organization, not based on processes. Right? Now what happened? Even before big data, we talked about I think 2020, 2018, 19, 20, 21. Just span is just 4 years. Then AI came in. So how do we organize organizations now? Huh? You should organize them around, yeah, and data and comment. So I mean, this is where the reflection, research, understanding helps. Not just repeating things like a parrot or trying to understand the concepts like that. That doesn't help you. And when you go to a good company for an interview, remember, I'm sitting in the corporate sector. I'm an academician, moved into the corporate. When I'm sitting and interview people, the simple things we look for. You don't have standard questionnaires and tests. We just have a dialogue and a discussion. And through the dialogue and a discussion, we will know where you stand. Right? Now. So these are some examples. Then of course, I'm not going to ask you what is the difference between AI, generative AI, LLM, green energy, carbon zero, big data, blockchain, AI, augmented reality, and all that. There's no need, right? So when we presented the AI person presented Abdul Kalam Azad, right, speaking and all. Is that AI?
Yeah. Augmented reality.
It is augmented reality, right? You're using it. At the back of it is still there in AI. How do you know? There could be an AI. It depends upon what is happening at the back end. For that, you need to understand what is an algorithm, what is a program, what is a procedure, and how they are generating the content. I think, if I'm not mistaken, what has happened is you have created a text file and fed the text file into the system, and the system is reading the text file using an avatar. Right? So if that is true, everything is purely Gen AI, which means you have a text file, manually prepared or somehow you prepared it. You got hold of a avatar, which is a tool available in the market. You gave the avatar a photograph of a late president and said, use this for an hour. And I've done all this for myself. Right? Then you've done it. But actually AI means you've not given you just given a prompt, and that must go into the cloud, identify all the various speeches with Abdul Kalam has made, right? Read those speeches, pick up what is relevant for human capital, this project, extracted only the relevant one, right? And make that image speak it. Then, to an extent you have used AI. I still use an extent because it's still not gone into the language LLM, the language modeling has not yet been done. You are still relying on existing, you're just pulling information, but still it's better than writing a program. For those of you who want to go into this domain, want to understand this domain, you must understand what all these terms are. So I'm using the word, do not parrot. Do not speak like a parrot. It's called parroting. Right? Speaking something without understanding what it is and assuming you know the subject. Right? This is what you all need to be careful of. And the most important skill, yesterday, today, tomorrow. You all say communication, right? In communication, what is the most important part? Talking, lecturing, speaking. Of course, I'm obviously eliminating the most important one. Yeah? Listening. You ask anywhere, go to any of these Gen AI, ask any manager, they'll tell you. Most and first important skill is listening. Only if you listen, you know. Let's assume you don't listen to me, right? What question can you ask? What can you understand? What can you communicate with somebody? Nothing. Your listening is a gateway to your brain. It's a gateway to your human resource, if you will. You say human resource is competency. Your listening is the gateway to it. And when I say listening, it may be oral, it may be reading something, but paying attention, right? Then comes understanding. And then comes analysis. Analysis where you try to debate, you try to see how your understanding is. And then you decide on certain knowledge. That becomes your knowledge. And just for information, knowledge, skills, attitude, all three combined together is called competency. So when I use the word, if somebody uses the word competency, they're referring to knowledge, they're referring to skills, they're referring to attitude, all of it. It's only when you have all these three, you can say you are a competent person. If you say I'm a skillful person, that doesn't mean anything. A skillful person means you know to do something perfectly, but you may not know why you are doing it. Because you know to do it, you don't know why to do it. Somebody told you to do it in this way and you practiced and practiced so hard that you're perfect in it. But you can't train anybody. And if the situation changes, you can't do anything because you are doing something, you don't know why it is being done. So you cannot change it. Right? That is why just because you're skillful at something does not mean you're a competent person. Right? You must have the knowledge. And if you have the skill and the knowledge and you say, I don't have attitude, that is wrong because attitude is a part of your resource. So that's why we call it as a competence. So now you've got to ask yourself, I use the word understanding. That's a slightly very generic term. The most critical term you can say is critical thinking. Can you all think critical? If you had listened to today's session, you would have realized that one person said sector is organized, unorganized, another person said sector is whatever it is, and then you have listened. Now you have got to understand. Then you will think critically. Why did this person say this? Why did that person say this? Right? Are they both wrong? Are they both right? If so, that is a critical thing. So when you go through, if you read through all the abstracts, read through all the papers that come out, go sentence by sentence and try to think critically. Because if you start going through them, you will find a lot of inconsistencies. Also, apparent inconsistencies are used. I use the word apparent inconsistencies because each author is writing from a particular context, from a particular perspective. It is very, very important you understand the context and the perspective. When you understand the context and the perspective behind the writing, that is when you will understand the mind of the author. When you understand the mind of the author, that is when you can criticize the author or debate with the author or discuss with the author. But if you're not able to understand the context, that's where a critical thinking. So ask yourself, are you a critical thinker? If you are good at critical thinking, then you will master any subject. And that is the most important skill. So listen first, understand for which you use critical thinking. And if you have done these two, you have knowledge. I'm not going to list all the other skills and all because I can tell you I have summarized here, let's say all the skills, factors, everything. And whatever I've summarized here has been already told, not just by a resource person, but by multiple resource persons have reinforced it. The question is, having listened, I don't know how many people have made a note of it, aware of it, or remember it. Right? So I will not go beyond this, but I'll leave it open for you all to ask questions, seek clarifications. You think I've missed something? Use your critical thinking hat, and if you want to cross-examine me, question me, I'm happy to answer. Right? Are you all listening? So how long do you want me to stand here? You all decide the time. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? Or you say, oh, it's more than enough already. I see at least one person yawning. Okay, no problem. Huh? They are relieved, yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for everybody.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Prem Sangre. Sir, you have given the wonderful message to the upcoming intellectuals, upcoming leaders. Sir, you are enlightened. SSC, stop, start, and continue. The behavioral concept, the human beings having a wonderful behavior, something new skills, need to be start, need to be stopped, need to be continued. And one more important thing is the span of control, the levels of certain levels of organization, top level, middle level, and lower levels. And at the same time, one more important thing is communication is the most important for all. Everyone should be concentrated the communication. Whenever you listen carefully, whenever you receive the information, whenever you send the feedback, it is very essential for all the peoples. And the one more important, the perception is the most important. Perception means it is the nothing but the observation capacity. What about the capacity of understanding particular aspect? It is the perception. And finally, you have mentioned the skillful person will win. The way the skill is there, then automatically will be win. This is the ultimate concept of the Dr. Prem Sandhi is an expert. In this session, the Today National Seminar India at the rate to 2047 Human Capital for Developed India. The fifth session, the most important aspect is both are the expert and experienced personalities in the field of management area. So that's why it is very useful for you to learn the more knowledge. Thank you very much, sir. Both of you, thank you. And now it is the time for the session paper presentation. KVMS Srinivas Garu, Research Scholar, Deputy Manager HR, NTPC. Please welcome, sir. Please present your paper.
Good evening to all. Actually, my presentation belongs to the theme, sub-theme 4 actually. There was a shortage of time during the pre-lunch, and so it has been given an opportunity in the post-lunch. A warm good evening to all of you. My salutations to my guide and mentor, Dr. Nagaraj Bhattu Garu, and my also salutations to Dr. Tulsidas Garu, and my all senior scholars, doctorates, and the guests on the dais, the chair and the co-chair, and the resource person today. It has been a wonderful experience for the last 2 days. I am also from the industry, NTPC Ramagundam. I am a scholar, and I am the blessings of the Dr. Bhattu Garu as my guide. And thank you so much, sir, from the bottom of my heart to Dr. Bhattu Garu and Tulsidas Garu for bringing out this seminar, national seminar. I have been having the fortune to attend for the last more than 8 years now all these seminars. Being a part of the campus itself makes us so wisdom, so knowledgeable. To meet you all itself is a very big experience to all, especially the new budding managers of tomorrow, the MBA HRM candidates with abundant knowledge and the updations on the AI and ML technologies. So without taking much of your time, I'll go to the my paper presentation on theme number 4, sub-theme number 4. Though it's already discussed in the pre-lunch session, still I would like to take only 5 minutes of your time to throw my ideas on this. So my today's topic is the unlocking the potential of gender inclusive human capital by 2047. I am working as a Deputy Manager HR from NTPC Ramagundam. This study explores gender discrimination and the evolving status of women in India from the ancient times to the present. Basically, the idea is to bring out what are all the gender differences of women. As there is a Sanskrit sloka already repeated by my other colleagues in the afternoon. Yat naryant pujyante ramante tat devataha. We are in an era of 21st century where we see women as the, for her knowledge as a goddess, for her responsibilities as no less than any gender. Since I come from an industry where male and female are involved, they are not the other genders. I speak about more these two genders. We have in NTPC around 480 women employees across the country. In my unit from Ramagundam, we have about 42 lady employees, occupying the very highest positions from the lowest is a supervisor to that of heads of the department. Most of them are engineers as well and the nursing staff, and we never feel they are different to us in any way. At times I feel, being a 34 years professional in NTPC, I feel some ladies, some women are really intelligent. They always have the out of box thinking. They are much superior in some ways when it comes to the emotions and in the crisis management especially. The objective of this study is to make this gender inclusive human capital and potential achievement of a 70% female workforce participation by 2047. For actualizing the Vikasit Bharat, Bharat is a very growing country today. Bharat is coming with a lot of innovative ideas to bridge the gaps of the knowledge and also the barriers of communication as well as the barriers of the gender bias. So now with this view in mind, the Vikasit Bharat is a beautiful initiative by the government of India. It's basically aimed at realizing India's aspiration of becoming a developed nation by its centennial year of independence. So my objective basically for this study is to compare the social status of women vis-a-vis the secondary position of the women in comparison with men, and making the Indian women achieve their growth potential, reach the desired levels of satisfaction, assuming the leadership roles towards achievement of Vikasit Bharat. My research methodology basically is revolving around the secondary data only. I gathered information most of it from the news and other modes of communication. Briefly, I will just explain, try to concentrate on what was the status of women in the ancient period. The status of women in ancient India evolved significantly, shifting from equality to male dominance over time. While early societies valued women, later periods imposed restrictions that limited their rights and freedoms. So, matriarchal period, the pre-3000 BCE, women enjoyed equal status, contributed to agriculture, and played key roles even in decision making. Vedic period, which we call the 3000 BSE to the 1500 BSE, women had access to education and intellectual discussions, but lacked property rights and faced growing restrictions. The post-Vedic period from 1500 BCE to the 500 CE, patriarchy strengthened, leading to declining social, economic, and political roles for the women. The shift from equality to male dominance confined women to domestic roles, limiting their participation in leadership and governance, which laid the foundation to the gender inequality. So, what is the status of women in the medieval period? So, because of that, let's not get into the details about it. A lot of caste system, religious influences, social evils, restrictions, impact of Islamic rule 20th century onward, loss of intellectual and economic freedoms. This era solidified the patriarchal dominance, reinforcing societal structures that continue to oppress women for centuries. So now it's come to the status of women in the modern period. The modern period brought reforms for women's rights, but patriarchal barriers still limit progress. While laws improved opportunities, gender inequality still persists. Pre-independent reforms like Rajaram Mohan Rai, Mahatma Phule, fought sati, child marriage, and caste discrimination. Post-independent advancements included in the laws improved education, employment, and evolving opportunities even included the women to excel in politics, business, and technology. Today we see many women, even they emerge as the CEOs of the company. They occupy even the global positions. That is the involvement of the transition of the women from the post era to this modern era. What are the challenges in gender discrimination? Despite progress, women still face discrimination in various aspects of life, limiting their growth and opportunities. Male dominance in society, politics, religion, and the economy remain male dominated, restricting women's leadership roles. Stereotypical gender roles, society views women as weak and independent, restricting them to caregiving roles over leadership. Overcoming these challenges requires policy reforms, awareness, and cultural shifts toward gender equality. Dr. Jitendra Singh, the Union Minister of Government of India, in one of his speeches on March 25th, emphasized government's commitment to the women's empowerment through key reforms. He highlighted the importance of gender inclusivity in governments and the workforce. He stated that women's active participation in economic activities is essential for national progress. He stressed the need for removing bureaucratic barriers that limit women's opportunities in leadership and decision making. A lot of initiatives towards Vikasit Bharat 2047, a lot of crucial role women has been given, and many schemes from the government of India have also been opened up for the women's progress. Yeah. So these are the few government initiatives. You can just glance through that. This is the India's vision for 2047. Increasing women's participation in technology finance, implementing workplace policies that promote equal pay, safety and career advancement, encouraging women's active involvement in governance and decision making to build a balanced and progressive society. By 2047, India envisions a future where women contribute equally to economic and social transformation. Here I conclude. Despite progress, women continue to face systematic discrimination in social, economic and political spheres. And let's all put our hands together to give the equal opportunity for the women also to grow, so that our progression for 2047, the India's great dream of centennial celebration, would become a reality, in fact, with all the support. And thank you very much for the opportunity given to me for this presentation. Thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you very much for your presentation. KMS Srinivas Garu, Research Scholar, Deputy Manager HR, NDPC. So thank you very much, sir. Now it is the time for the felicitation to the guests.
Now the presentation session. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your vibrant and delight speech on this occasion. So now I would like to invite Dr. Prem Sandhi Garu. Sir, please accept the token of gratitude, declaration of the national service. Dr. Rama Satyanarayana, Dr. Nirmala, please join. So now I would like to elevation Murthy Garu, Senior Manager HR. Also joined Dr. Lincoln Garu, Abraham Lincoln Garu. So thank you, sir. So especially special thanks to Dr. K. Abraham Lincoln Garu, maintained the session very well and interesting outputs. Upcoming leaders as well as the managers. Thank you, sir. Now the tea break. After completion of the break, we will start the session.